Hello, this is July 1st, monthly reflection, and I'm processing it now, which is great. Alright, it's 11:30, should get to sleep, it's a little bit late. Alright, this week did some swimming, jump rope, okay, so I think the biggest thing this week was getting into a fight with this guy at work, and he said something that was really racist. Um, what he said was, um, and he and it was, I was mad, not so much about him just saying it. It was just he was fighting me with me on it the entire time. This new guy at work, and he said, "Hey, so what's your real name? Christopher can't be your real name." And what bothered me was if he had said, is Chris your full name? Then I'll know he means Christopher. But if he could have said, may, but he used the word can't. So it was like this really racist thing because he assumed that I would have a Chinese name, not Christopher. Um, and for him, he didn't have any benign meaning. He comes from the IT background, so he has Indian coworkers, I guess, and maybe they have an Indian name, but they go by John or Mary or something like that. So you assume that, oh, you're Asian, so maybe your name is, like my Chinese name was Bo Chen Jian. So he would assume that, like, my dad's name would be Chuan Ming, and he goes by Alan. But yeah, it just seemed really it really bothered me. And then like the entire lunch, I was kind of like fighting with him on it. I feel how I kind of handled the situation was the day I apologized to him, which I still think was a smart move, because I'm here to work. I'm not here to uh, social improve or whatever. I'm just like trying to get my work done. He seemed a little bit shooken up that I was angry at him, and I think this reminds me of like when I went to Guatemala. I was speaking to everyone, hola, buenos dias, buenas tardes. But when I went back to California, I realized, and like people were really happy when I was in Guatemala. People were really happy I was speaking their language. But when I went back to the U.S., I noticed that I kind of felt like if you're Mexican or you speak Spanish, if I'm greeting you in Spanish, I don't necessarily always get a positive response, because I think the thing is, just because someone is, uh, you don't need to assume that they speak Spanish, or you don't need to assume that they don't speak English, and that's the biggest thing. There was this scene in Modern Family where Phil sees the guy and he's like, "Oh, mi nombre is Felipe," blah blah, and it's like, dude, I speak English. You can talk to me in English, and yeah, so it's rude. I wouldn't say it's race. It's mildly racist. It's definitely rude, and it's very annoying when people do stuff like that. It's not like the worst thing, I mean, there's people getting killed and stuff, and like there's immigration issues. So it's not like the biggest racial thing going on right now in America in today's climate. All right, so let's drop that subject. Work is going really good. New creative director, Urban Sketchers on Saturday. I still need to work on my drawing skills. Yeah, overall, just really good. Man, slept kind of weird yesterday because they were partying next door. Told them to be quieted down, and they quieted it down. But yeah, got a lot of sleep yesterday. And all right, how do I want to go about my next week? I think I might be doing a little. All right, talk to you later. Bye.